to Perla's question, when do you go into those spaces? But what is the blockage? There's like sometimes I feel like I have a parallel mind, and
Yeah, you do.
I kind of know what you're doing. I kind of feel like I'm slipping into that space
Yep.
that that's more vulnerable, no more talking your way out of things. And then
Yep.
there's this soldier somewhere inside there who's like, okay, back in line, you.
Yeah. Okay. So let's work on that. So what's your question about it?
How do you
Why
eliminate that
soldier?
soldier?
Yeah. So if let's pretend that you're working on it inside of yourself and you're laying in your bed and you're like, fuck this soldier guy who keeps interrupting me or who keeps stopping me. What are you let's pretend that you're doing the hypnosis inside of your own head. What are you curious about?
Sorry, just pulling over. Good question.
That's okay.
Curious about we're curious about what keeps this soldier alive.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what you would say to yourself. So what keeps you alive, soldier, inside of my head? What are you doing? What are you living on in there? Why are you doing this to me? So you would ask it, and then what does it say back to you?
What would it say then? Probably something like an addiction of going back and forth.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
addicted to you, the
yeah.
soldier. I'm addicted to you, soldier, interrupting me. And what am
All
I
right.
getting out? And what am I? Oh, yeah. What was that?
Yeah, and then I'd feel lonely without you. You've been with me all my life.
Do you see how weird that is? Do you hear the laughter? That's her subconscious mind being like, oh, that's what it's doing. Oh, I could let that go. Oh, I don't need to do that all the time. You see how cool that is? Do you see how I did jack shit, absolutely nothing? I'm not even in a demo or in a class or I mean, in a session or anything. But just by putting attention on that soldier, the soldier itself said, I'm just an addiction that you have. You feel lonely without me. Do you see how much information it gave away just because we gave it 5 seconds of our attention? So then what do you want to ask it next, Barbara?
Wouldn't you try? Wouldn't you like to try a new job with someone else?
Exactly. Now you're on level 3 of my course, which is very advanced, which is reframing or reassigning, which is an advanced concept, but you're on to a good one, which is okay, soldier, since you're addictive and since you're repetitive, would you like a different job? Now you're actually working with your own subconscious. Do you see how important that is?
Yeah, interesting.
Does it want to? Then ask it. So, I mean, wait for the answer. So, you're having a dialogue now with the most important part of yourself. So, what does it say?
No, I like these familiar conditions with you.
Right. Exactly.
I don't like change.
Exactly. And then I'm going to ask you, Barbara, so how do you feel about that? The fact that it admitted that it's an addiction, it admitted that it's holding you back, and yet when you ask it to surrender, it says no. How do you feel about that?
Uh, Unempowered.
Exactly. You see how now we're into problem solving in a clinical situation, which started with a total non sequitur. That's what I teach in my course is that I can reach the subconscious mind no matter what entryway I am given. It doesn't matter. I don't have to say, what's the problem or why are you here? I can just say, well, what's going on? I don't even remember. How did you start that?
Just taking up the Perla's question from before,
Right.
from the very beginning. Yeah.
Exactly. So how do I even do this? And then suddenly, 3 questions later, we're in her subconscious mind, which happens to look like a soldier to her, which happens to be inflexible, which happens to be giving her problems. Do you see how easy it is to get to that part of her mind where the problem is stuck? And so that's what the therapy is about. That's what the conversational method is about, is now that she identified her problem, we would use this same method to continue to unravel it until something gives. That is a more advanced use than let's just have some fun with it. But that's the right idea. You're onto the right idea. So I invite you now to work with that little soldier and find out like what's going to happen. It's just a part of your mind is another way to look at it. It's an expression of your consciousness. There's no actual soldier. It's just a anthropomorphized version of your subconscious mind.
Mhm, mhm.
And that's what's so cool about the subconscious mind is it's always giving us data, it's always sharing with us, it's always telling us something, but we're not paying attention to it, so we don't do anything with it. I do think that this is also very interesting in terms of spirituality. Like when you get deep into that dialogue, what else do we need? I mean, that's what introspection is. So another way of looking at this is like, this is the evolving of consciousness, learning to dialogue and be curious about the subconscious mind of yourself and of others. Do you guys think this is something you can do?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
very
think
cool.
it depends on who it is. If I
Yeah.
try to do it with my brother, he'll just look at me like I'm batshit crazy. But this is how I normally talk to friends. I ask way more questions than anything else because I'm curious about other people already.
Is it
So
possible that you have an expectation of what your brother is going to do, so that puts you into a defensive mode?
probably.
Because that was the whole point of the course is nobody's really going to question it or even know we're doing it unless we are invested in what they're going to say.
Well, and that's the
But
piece.
99% of the time, we are invested when it's our friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
But so what would change that relationship with him where you could actually get somewhere?
Detaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not that interested or you don't have that much invested in what he says back.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's just like, oh, why did you say that? Or what do you think about that? How do you feel about that? What made you say that? Then it's not batshit crazy. It's just a different way of talking.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be more useful to you than getting into the usual circular conversation that you have with him?
Oh, definitely.
Right. So that's the whole thing is some people, we don't even care about their subconsciousness. So why would we get into it? But if we're locked into conversations with people that are circular and meaningless and that never make any progress, then why wouldn't we try a different approach? Now we're back to who should use hypnosis and why.
Well, and the other piece is it's more authentically who I am.
Exactly.
So,
And that's the point of this course too, is the more you become educated about this, the more you can show up as an honest avatar of yourself rather than mask wearing, socialized, let's just talk the way I've been taught to talk all of my life. And that's, I think, hopefully what you get out of the course today is you're a special soul. You have your own subconsciousness that's unique to you, that's 1 in 10 whatever billion, that's never going to be born again, that's only yours. And it will interface with this life only to the extent that you promote it and allow it. So that's the whole invitation of this course is, as that special subconsciousness, as that unique person, do you want to share that with others and do you want to bring that out into the world? Or do you want to just pretend that you're authentically you and just stay on the surface of all conversations and interactions? Some people do. Me personally, I'm interested in this vast field that's invisible, myself and the ones around me. So I'm always going to be the one to be curious and unconscious because there's more there than there is in this 3D illusory bullshit superficial reality. That's why I wanted to teach this course, because I think everybody should know that and should have a way to use it. So do you guys want to have a part B of this course where we actually start to unwind problems? What would be the most helpful for you moving forward from this? Or would you rather do self-hypnosis, where I teach you how to really go into your own subconscious mind?
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was thinking that would be the natural correlate to this one.
I'd like to
Okay,
do the last part of the testing though too.
today?
No, no, like to pick it up next time is to like I'd like to
Yeah.
do the testing, include the testing part from this.
How about I do that slide in a minute? I'll see if there's any questions. I do want to do it like more extensively, but I'll do it today so that you see the whole presentation. I just left it out because I felt like we needed to focus on these two other things, unconscious moments and curiosity. But let me see if there's any other questions. If not, I'll do the testing slide. Any other questions about what I taught you today? How to use it? Yeah.
You made me realize that we have some friends who are good at asking these questions, and they might not do it in a deliberate way, but they make us uncomfortable when they ask their question. So they're touching upon something. I have a friend who's an undercover cop. I don't know
There
if
you
she learned how to,
go.
I don't know if she learned how to do this or what,
For
but she
sure.
asks the best questions.
She for
And
sure learned it. She's for sure trained in it. I watched
yeah,
FBI. I love to watch the FBI guys on YouTube because they do have this down to a science. But
yeah.
you're
So just
exactly right.
so I find just interacting with people,
Yep.
people who are of this type, like who will engage in these maybe more profound conversations, or not profound is not the word. People who are maybe attentive, interested in you. It's like you're in therapy, or not therapy, but going through this hypnosis thing in a
Real.
very unstructured way. It's just with your
That's
daily
right.
interactions.
And I just
Even
taught you how to do the exact same thing. And that's exactly right. Our best relationships and our most trusted and intimate relationships are subconscious. That is correct. And that's how we know to move towards them. That's
exactly.
very important, finding from this whole thing. And that to me, Barbara, becomes a felt sense. Like, oh, I feel that this person is willing to share that part of themselves. Oh, that makes me feel more rapport and more trust. So I think that that's another reason to get good at this, is to really develop a sense of trust and authenticity in your relationships and in your connections. I mean, like, think about it as a parent or as a mentor or as a leader. Who is the, child or employee or, team member going to live up to more, is going to participate with more, is going to have a better long-term connection with? The person who allows that to come forward. So that's how you can strengthen your community experience and your experience of life, is by capitalizing on subconscious relationships. That's where connection really exists.
Yep, it's very
And
interesting.
that's why we sometimes feel that people leave us with an emptiness. Well, that's why, because they're very closed off and they're giving us a very superficial conscious experience, which is, to people who come to a class like this, not satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
And so it becomes a landmark for life. Oh, I have more of that feeling. Oh, I have more of this feeling. What do I want more? What do I want to encourage more in others? So that's a good observation.